Live? Yes. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Empress Menin. One perfect balance. Yes, Rezero Menin. So, welcome to another magnificent Monday, politically incorrect, where we get it correct. And if we're not correct, y'all already know. Please correct us. So, yeah, one of them nights. So we decided we're gonna do something a little different tonight, family. We spoke about it before, and I think we're gonna get it clear right now. Tonight is one of them nights where we're gonna do an open mic night. Bottom line, just open up the mic, let the folks say what they have to say. Let it be what it is. You know, this is your night. That's all I can tell you. It's a night for you. So without further ado, I'm just gonna let this gentleman come on here and do his thing. Y'all already know. Drop a tune, get right into it. Run a little late anyhow. But there's some things I want to throw out there and get your feed forward on, and you can let me know. In the meantime, spiritual warfare. Tell them seven off, yeah. I prepare. Man, now warrior in the army. Righteousness me defend them, can't harm me. And do man cool, I'm gonna glorify tool. Nobody feel set, you can't harm me. Man, now warrior in the army. Tell a friend. Teacher, come me. You chance me walk. Like it like if I damn up when I might quit. The multitude was wrong, so me not trying. Yes. Come here, youth. Make me school you about what's happening. While you're pulling gun, you know see the rich man and them stepping in. Buying out the land, them education system failing. I'll be fighting rights and religion, them done. Make a decision, them send. Politicians on, tell life visions. I'm not catch up this with this stress, you might and get your to youth, them in a trap. Them in a agenda, them share more food, them brainwash the youth when they send them to school. Tell them medication, that the tool when it's God. Man, now warrior in the army. Yes. Tell a friend, family. And do man cool. I'm gonna glorify tool. Nobody feel set, you can't warm me. And now warrior in the army. All the youth, man. All the youths, all the youths. Ask you all to pay attention to the little tricks, man. Tricks and traps. Man, I want the pagan. Pray and fasting, I'm stronger than a super saiyan. But racism, but them false doctrine, and my dance with them praising. All riches come to naught. Time for you unlearn all the lies we were taught. Remember that. Them not like us and them love it when we minus. Give us a doctrine to enslave us. Wake up, man, now warrior in the army. Yes, family. Me defend them, can't harm me. And do man cool. I'm gonna glorify tool. Nobody feel set, you can't warm me. And now warrior in the army. Your army. Yes. Gideon time, family. The multitude was wrong, so me not Chinese. Father, please guide me down from enemies, from enemies, Father, please guide me down from the enemies. Yes, family. For them jealous me when. One family, one order family. Shout out to the family across the region. It should be Messiah. Y'all already know, man. One family. Big tune right there. Look, I can put that link up for those who paying attention. I don't just play music, man. I be dropping messages. Just be a message in the music, man. That's it. Just be a message in the music, man. Shout out to everybody who is patient. Give thanks for staying on. We here now. You know what I mean? We here. Politically incorrect, where we get it correct. Live and direct. Wait, Isis? Yeah, good to see you, fam. I see you in a minute. Stolen African, I see you. Black Lion, I see you. Mystic, good night to everyone. Greetings and salutations. As always, Sonia, you don't know how it go.
love, and light to the family. Divine greetings. Maria, I see you too, family. Oh, you fixed that problem. You know what I mean? Shout out to King Man for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's that kind of night, family. It's that kind of night, man. I mean, I've seen some things in the last couple of days, man. That's anyhow. The number is area code 246-838-8253. There's a lot of talk about the economy in Barbados right now and the gray lists and all this kind of stuff. Where will it end? Where is this going? I don't know if it's me, but I ain't hearing a word from I don't know if they're calling the opposition party or what. But for those folks who buy into the system and who support the system, I hope y'all paying attention to what's going on in the system. Because at the end of the day, whatever they do going to affect you. I mean, you, your children, everybody. So please, I hope y'all paying attention. Tonight is one of them nights, and I know how people feel when I open the mic. People like, yo, man, well, I go and inbox you instead. I don't want to come on. Daffodil, shout out to Daffodil and the family, all the family, especially, Princess, you know who you be. Give thanks, you know what I mean? Life for more life, man. That's how it be. Where do I begin? Yeah. Send me the update, man. Send the update. Is it here? Is it? Yeah. Okay. I see you. Inbox messages started already. Look, see? Started already. Yeah, okay. Got you covered. And put some eyes in the sky here now, real quick. See what's going on in politically incorrect world. Yes, family, it's one of them nights, man. One of them nights. So y'all know that over the weekend, they said that the prince was Charles was coronated, and got his crown and that kind of stuff. Yeah, he got his crown and that kind of stuff. I don't know if y'all are paying attention. I got an open letter from a family member of mine in another territory. Thought was very interesting. But it looks like a lot of folks was watching that particular event and had a lot to say about it. So I wonder what's on your mind. What's on your mind, family? What's your thoughts on the coronation of the king, Prince Charles to the King of England? With the crown of jewels and stuff. And they actually have the nerve to put that on his head, like in 2023, where we know where he got that from and what it represents. And it's like, like the more things change, So give me your thoughts, family. Give me your thoughts. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, what are your thoughts on that? You know what I mean? That's right. Give us a call, man. Area code 246-838-8253. What are your thoughts on the prince becoming king? They said they had protests against it too. Man, on the real. Oh no, man. Good night to Wayne. I see you. Monica, I see you. Good night. Good night for those coming in now. Tonight is open mic night. You see it right there. Well, on this side. It's your night. It's your night. It's your mic. Your night, your mic. You know what I mean? Give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts, man. I know I saw that happen, and I see a few Caribbean leaders, bigging up the whole thing and got a lot to say, man. It's something. There's something inherently wrong when you cannot call wrong, and there's something inherently right when you could stand up and speak truth to power. Now, for Charles to act as if he don't know what's going on and don't know what happened, and to stand there like that and be like that and then not acknowledge, I mean, it's like, what is that saying? You might as well, I mean, you might as well say thank you, niggers, like thank you, niggers. You might as well say that. Because in essence, that's what you're saying. It's called the unspoken word. So as the king, the first order of the day is, you claiming to be descendants of a lineage that goes back to the scripture, which is funny because this is the part that nobody wants to talk about. The Queen of England and the king. Haile Selassie, the 5th was Victory Day. That was 5 years. The 5th of the 5th month was 5 years, 555, when he regained the throne. Nowhere in history does anyone ever regain that. No one ever regained their own throne. That's you get deposed. That was it. This is the first that's ever happened. And my point is that, this is the Solomonic dynasty, descendants of. So folks say he went to England, like he went to the white man. But what England never told you is that England is subject to Ethiopia. Whoa. Rastaman, where you going with this thing though? Wait, hold on a minute, Rastaman. Will you talk with? What's that? You know, sir? I gonna say it again. England is subject to the royal kingdom. Where'd that come from? Well, think about it. The queen and her son and children and husband all claim to be related to the Solomonic dynasty, going back to David. They claim lineage. They claim a relationship. Talk about Israel, right? Oh, man, this is going to get deep. Y'all ain't ready for this, man. Y'all ain't ready for this, man. So when they claim to be your family, yet they function like that, make you wonder, right? So Prince Charles, right now, regardless of what happened before, you have a duty to correct a lot of the wrongs that was done prior to you. So all I'm saying is that, family, we, no. Anyhow, open mic night, man. Act like this is karaoke, family. Y'all want to do a karaoke? If you want to come on and sing, come. I would put the words up and I would play a tune, man. We play a tune. How are we? Wait, I got a question. How are we going to survive with all these high prices in Barbados? Can someone tell me? I can't seem to understand if the leaders don't realize. Wow. The question is, how are we going to survive with all these high prices in Barbados? Can anybody tell him or her? Mystic, I'm not sure. I trust it as Mystic. Share with the Mystic one. Share with all of us, really. I told someone to send a message to my Auntie Mia that her presence is needed on Politically Incorrect. Someone said it was going to send me her number. I don't have her number. Otherwise, I would call her live. No, I bet she answer. I bet she like, wait, who this? This is Emmanuel from Politically Incorrect. He got a few questions I want to ask you. You on live, by the way. Emmanuel, I can't talk. No, let me stop. No, seriously though. I mean, the question is, are we going to survive? Look, man, people see me on here laughing and smiling and think that is a joke, but if you don't laugh, you probably would cry, man. I mean, seriously speaking. And I will tell you this much. Y'all look at the quality of food you're getting now versus what you used to get before. The quality of food we get now versus what we were getting before. Has anyone started to pay attention to that? The quality of food. The quality of food. Nah, seriously though, man. Like, things change. So you're paying more money for inferior quality food. Okay. I see you, Mystic. So she's correct. How are we going to survive? It's a question. How are we going to survive? You know how we're going to survive? Let me tell you how we're going to survive. You're going to call that number 246-838-8253, and you're going to type in you can WhatsApp the message, first of all, for those on WhatsApp. You're going to WhatsApp that message, and you're going to type in, how do we survive? And we'll take it from there. Either myself or the admins will respond to you accordingly. So if you're interested in how to survive, write that number down, area code 246-838-8253. Send them a WhatsApp message saying, answer the question, how will we survive and someone will contact you and give you that information. I am almost certain of it. There are a lot of things happening. Not everything is discussed on this platform, and this platform is about to go through a serious change because, you got to know when to fold and when to hold. And I think we have discussed almost everything here. Outside the relevant stuff that comes up, we're going into a different mode in terms of teaching and different programs dealing with health and wellness. And we talked about it before on more than one occasion. I'm getting people coming forward, suggesting stuff and having their own ideas. And I know when to take leave, and pass the mic based on the season that we're in. And right now, one of the seasons that we're in is health and wellness, because our health is affected based on the inferior quality foods we are consuming. Our psychological state is being challenged also by the consumption of certain foods and the water, as far as I'm concerned. So we got to learn how to counteract this stuff, how to eat right, how to live right, how to breathe and think right. So we're going to get into ways to help build the people, help build the community, help build each other, and not just focus on one thing and one thing only all the time. Ain't nobody got time to be fighting no system. Right now, we about building, man. Them that build great, man. Money kill great, man. Somebody said the king and queens in England irrelevant. Black people in the Caribbean shouldn't even study them. Them skulls. And it rich. Caribbean need focus on food security, especially Barbados. Facts. How we gonna feed the people? The sister asked the question. The price is going up so high. How we gonna do it? Like I said, hit that number up. WhatsApp the message. How are we gonna survive? And information gonna come right to you live, man. Somebody said, grow your own food and share amongst ourselves. I like it. These are the kind of initiatives that we're talking about. For sure. Exactly. Aisha said she purchased 3 plastic tomatoes in the tray, and they had local tomatoes from the supermarket on Friday. Well, man, I ain't even touching it, man. The food rot very quickly. I noticed that as well. I don't know who else noticed. The food don't last like it used to last. Cooley, I see you, my brother. Greetings. Alfred, I see you too. Greetings. Yo, Samuel, listen. I'm telling you, they spoil fast. I mean, look, being involved in the industry can tell you that some things I see myself make me wonder, man, what really going on? And I can't really blame it all on the supermarket or the temperature or the heat. There's something going on with the food. It don't seem to last like it used to. It don't. So, but yeah, it's why I said the quality is inferior and we are paying a lot more for it. Yep. Jackie, I see you too. Greetings. I see you, Sharon. Greetings. Too much chemical fertilizers in the food. Facts. Yo, listen, here's a question for you. Are these things dangerous? I mean, are they dangerous for you? Your health-wise, your health, are they dangerous? We see a lot of people now dying of cancer and stuff, left, right, and center. I mean, we could point fingers, but food is a factor in how your health is. There's no two ways about it, regardless of what else is going on, if you know what I mean. Hint. Food is a factor. It's getting worse. Seriously. Plant what I eat. Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. Food tastes much better. Yo, I ain't gonna front. One of my secrets, right, to my food, my food that I cook being so delicious, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet, is, as a matter of fact, tonight I was thinking to take this into the kitchen and cook a pot because I was real hungry. I said, man, I eat them for the day. I was on the road getting some stuff done. Today was a productive day. I felt really good about it. Very inspiring. Give thanks to all the individuals that connected with me today on different levels. Yeah, it was, oh man, from that morning phone call, that first phone call, that just humbled me completely. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. I wanted to come in and knock support. I said, man, how can you get this camera in the kitchen and put it by the stove? And I gonna figure out the logistics and get it done. And we're gonna try a thing one of these nights, live with Emmanuel in the kitchen. I gonna knock. But one of the things that make my food so delicious when I pick fresh herbs from the farm. You know, little herbs, little marjoram, little thyme, little this, little that, little this, little that, you know, little flavor peppers and thing, and chop it up. Let me tell you something. If I don't have my herbs in my garden, I don't want to cook. Like I can't, I don't care what. One of the biggest motivating factors for me in my kitchen is when I have my fresh herbs. See, when I got a bag of my fresh herbs, oh man, oh man, oh man. What? Look, I feel like I could do it all, man. I've just been in the kitchen like sprinkle, 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 chop, 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 chop. My thing though is that the food is tastes better. It really does. So in little ways, family, you know, in little ways, man, let's see how we can help each other. You know, if you can grow enough to share, do so. Do so, man. Shout out to Jeff and the Ivy, by the way. Gotta big up my brother Jeff. Long time no hear, long time no see. Give thanks for the food this weekend. It was bountiful, upful, and fulfilling. I'm telling you, man. Wayne, I agree with you, Wayne. Imported. Maria, I see you. Yep, tastes nothing like homegrown, man. Nothing beats homegrown. Brother Beverly says she stopped eating certain things, man. I agree. I totally agree with you, Bev. Totally. Totally. You start to feel better. I'm telling you, the food, man, they I don't know. You are what you eat. You know, let food be the medicine, family. There's a company called The Pharmacy. They're supposed to be coming out soon with some food baskets. So stay tuned. Look out for the commercials. You're going to see it coming out in your WhatsApp groups and stuff. They're offering food at a reduced cost and the best quality that they can procure. So look out for that coming soon. I'm pretty excited about it myself because I love anything that's producing quality food. So yeah, look out for that, man, for sure. The fruit's coming without seeds. Look, don't even start that because you know anything that's seedless can produce. Read between the lines. Read between the lines. I can't even keep up with his comments tonight, man. Y'all in a typing mood. Look, the number no, you know what? Hold on, man. Let me put the invite link. Let me copy the invite link and put it in the chat for those who want to come on in and share your thoughts, man. It's your night, your mic. Your mic is your night. The link to StreamYard Studio is right there. It works better with a Chrome browser if you want to come on in and share your thoughts. Quick, brief, you know, idea, whatever the case is. Good night, family. I see you. We see you. We see you. Greetings and love, salutations, each and every one. Sister said, yes, the chemical fertilizer are harmful to our health. We need to start eating organically grown crops to get the required nutrients. Yep. So true. Monsanto, listen, don't even start me with Monsantos. Listen, I'm glad you brought that up, though. Look, fam, I going to say something real quick. You see them Big Franks we be buying from, I going to mess up a whole industry now in the Rasta community, in the vegan community. Because the truth is, right, we buy them Franks a lot. I ain't going front. Yo, look up the company that makes Big Franks. Go look that company up. If I am wrong, family, please correct me. But I'm almost sure that Monsanto's is the company that own Loma Linda, which Loma Linda is a company that makes Big Franks. Those Big Franks that we love to buy, man, I've been stopped eating them joints there, man. I don't know. I know this, again, I ain't telling you to don't buy them. I telling you, look it up. If I am wrong, please correct me. But to my knowledge, Loma Linda was owned by the Seventh-day Adventist organization, was one day subsidiary private organizations where they make a little paper. And along came a company one day and said, listen, you know, I like that company you got there, man. I feel like I can make some money doing it. So why not let me buy it from you? And to my understanding, they sold the company for undisclosed amount of money. Hint, hint. Nevertheless, I was told that it was Monsanto, based on research at that time, that purchased the company. So please feel free to find out if that is true. If it's not true, come and correct me, and I have no problem apologizing for that misinformation. And I would be sure to be more diligent and vigilant going forward. But check it out and let me know, somebody. I'm asking the question: is it owned by Monsanto? Somebody let me know. Let me know. Imported carrots, you making sport, man. It can't be that bad. Not only the carrots, man. Look, Boris grows some nice carrots, but again, you gotta check and see. Daffodil, do not start that. Don't even put that. Matter of fact, listen, bam. This is crazy, man. I think right now we really got to start looking at food differently, man. Breadfruit, yams, sweet potatoes, green bananas. Look, when you got pumpkin, squash, etc. Beets, carrots, beans, lettuce, butterfinger squash. Listen. Look, stay tuned. Delivery coming to you soon, apparently. I've been told. I've been watching it, so I go and see first. Once they send me the information, I going to share it with you for sure. I'm going to share it with you for sure. But apparently it's one of the FAID initiatives in terms of food sovereignty and security, helping the people develop better quality, purchase better food and at affordable cost, man. Bringing the savings to your doorstep. I want to put this up here as well. We talked earlier about getting your mental health in order, getting your nutrients and your right food together in order. I am glad to also be able to say that, yes, fasting is also a good thing as well, for sure. And it's important that we do fast and be able to take care of your body. Fasting does the body so much good. I have someone here who wants Yes, let's go ahead and add this person tonight. Greetings. Are you there?
Hey, greetings. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, politically incorrect family.
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
So, my thoughts wasn't really relating to what you were talking about, but I still feel like this is something that needs to be said. So, I actually sent a message to you, but I say, you know what? I'm not sure if you saw it, so I'm actually going to ask it to everyone who's listening. So, the question is, when are we going to get out of the chat rooms and put the boots on the ground and do some work collectively? Because if there are 100 chat rooms in Barbados, I am a part of at least 99 of them. And I see only 30 people doing the work. So help me do the math. And the other thing is, what's missing, in my opinion, is the reality check for some people. I feel like if you really know what's going on, you're going to really want to do the work. So it's art to song and send videos and post and share and debate and quarrel in the chat rooms all day, every day. But then you go in a shop at Massy and buy everything that they got and sit down and eat canned food and then watch Politically Incorrect. Though I ain't trying to diss nobody, but you really got to look at yourself for a minute. The other thing is, what will it take for that percentage of the persons who are in this so-called community? What is it going to take for you to come forward and actually do something? That's
Well,
my question.
those are profound. First of all, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing with us. Those are profound thoughts and profound questions. For folks who don't know, the link is on the screen. It's in the comments. If you want to come on in and share your thoughts, the link is right there. Click on it and come on in. Want to thank you first for coming in and sharing. What I would say to you is this: There's a story in the scripture that talks about Gideon's army. And I think Gideon's army was about maybe 20,000 people. It's about 20,000. And they were going for days and days trying to put in work and different things. And, it got a little rough and food got scarce and they had no water for a little while. And then it came to a point where they finally did get water, man. And a whole bunch of folks went and dived in the water, do backflips, was swimming and basking in it. We had war. But only a certain few, a selected few, a chosen few, took one knee and was sipping to the water, bringing the water to their mouths and looking around and still being observant. The point of me saying that is that this ain't for everybody. A lot of folks want to watch this from the comfort of their living room from YouTube while they eat popcorn and, sip on whatever they're sipping on. So the boots on the ground you're asking about, I feel you. That's why the old folks say, build it and they should come. It's going to take the chosen to get up and go and make it happen so that others may enjoy what they made happen comfortably. So I used to look for a large movement all the time. I used to look for a large movement to come. Yeah, come make this thing happen. But I come to realize that you got to make sure that you're ready and that you're doing everything you can to make it happen and lead by the example so that others can see your good works and, follow the path that you might have carved. Inspiration comes in different forms. And although we like to think that everybody on, what we call chat room gangsters, they argue all day and cuss and fight all day. Sometimes people just, they ain't got no real life. And that's like the only life they get to talk to people and interact. And that becomes their all. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I see people in the chat morning, noon, night, as if that's a job. Like, y'all don't sleep, And like you said, I used to be in a lot of other chats. I've slowly eliminated myself from a lot because truth is, you're right. A lot of just talk shops. So I'm a part of Fade though. And Fade is a working machine. And I love the work in Fade. I love the people in Fade. It's always something upful, joyful, positive, and solution oriented. So for me, I about the people who put in the work. And although it may not be a lot, and even within the lot, there's still a smaller lot, I know for a fact that everybody has a role to play. So once we work collectively like the human body and the arm, leg, arm, head, and everybody play their particular function, we as a body, we as a being rather, not a body, but we as a being, a living sentinel being, we're going to get what we're supposed to get collectively. So nothing before it's time, sis. Once you're doing what you're supposed to do,
feel you.
The others going to fall in just as well.
I feel you. And you know what? I agree with everything you said. I do also agree with Fade. I see Fade doing some good things. But what I will say for those people, though, who do sit back and just post and share and argue and debate, I will for them courage. I want to encourage them to just do a little bit more than that. Even if they still share, just do a little bit more than that. Share to somebody who's doing something, even if you don't want to do it, share it with somebody who can get it done so that we get it done.
I agree. I definitely going to agree. I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts. As a matter of fact, hold the line for a second. Don't go anywhere. I have somebody else here that want to claim on in. Good night. Welcome to Politically Incorrect.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night to everyone. I have a point. Well, I have something to say. It's not regarding what she was talking about, but her points are good as well. My thing is, as I sit every day and watch what's going on in terms of the evidence coming out with these pokes, I will say pokes that they give these people. When is our prime public servant going to address this matter? Because we're not seeing anything on the news in terms of what's going on. The embalmers talking, doctors talking, scientists talking, Fauci news getting out about this Fauci stuff. So why is it that our government, or we are not seeing it on the news, or our government aren't coming to the people and saying what's going on? Because I'm seeing a lot of my people sick. 2 of them are dead, and it's really frustrating me. So I just wanted to know, when is that going to be addressed, or when do you think that our prime public servant will address this? That's number one. And I'm hearing everybody talking about we're not under a constitution, or we're not working by the constitution. Would you be able to give me any insight into that?
Yes. Boy, this is this. Rose always said, "Be careful what you wish for." Right? Open mic night. Right? You want it open, they open. Well, here we're getting on. There's a number of things I don't touch on, not because I can't touch on them, despite popular belief. I can touch on a number of things. Sometimes the reason I don't touch on some things is because for me it's spinning thought in mud. Take your first question, for example, when would our prime servant speak on certain things? The truth of the fact is, unless the right individual answers the question, voluntarily she's not going to speak on it. She's not obligated to do so and probably will never do so unless circumstances force her to do so. Like, for example, you or I go to a town hall meeting and then ask the question. And although there's a delay on the YouTube and the Facebook lives, there's no delay in the town hall. You know, you can go and answer the question accordingly or get shuffled to the side. There's a possibility that they could shuffle you to the side the same way. But the point I want to make is that I don't think she's going to respond to it. The truth of the fact is, what I realized during the whole experience of 789, we was advocating and doing a number of things. The reason why 789 was such a success is because it was a mass group of people that wasn't coming together for political reasons. It was Barbadians saying enough is enough and we want answers. And we came out and the government stepped back from then till now. What they have done is use the private sector to push their agenda by people forcing their employees and whatnot to do stuff to get the pork and whatnot. And therefore then, manipulating people from behind the scenes. Unfortunately, when it comes to what the people have a right to, you touch on the Constitution. I'm going to say this much. I've heard a lot of voice notes from various people as it pertains to the Barbados not being under the Constitution.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way, family. Barbados is supposed to be a democracy, correct?
Yes. So no, I thought we were supposed to be republic. I'm not sure.
Well, a democracy could still be a republic, could still be democracy. But I'll show you the science in it. When you say you're a democracy, it means that the people's supposed to be in control. Like the people's voice is what determines anything. The majority is who rules. That's what it's supposed to be. But the government created this thing called a parliamentarian republic. By virtue of its name, the implicit in what it is saying and suggestion is that Parliament is who made that decision for you. Having said that, it means that the majority didn't decide that we want to go this route. Parliament decided, which means that that's not democracy. So it means that it doesn't matter if you think you have a constitution or not, because the truth is the Constitution of Barbados only applied to the stakeholders. If you are a subject, aka cattle or chattel, that does not apply to you. That's why I always tell people, you think you have rights and you don't. Because when they first prepared that document back in 1653, if I'm correct, if not, correct me, it was considered to be called, it was called the Barbados Charter at the time, written by Lord Willoughby himself. They eventually changed it to become the Constitution of Barbados back in 1650 something later on. The point I want to make is in 1650 something, what were we doing in Barbados?
I don't know, because I wasn't even born yet.
But what I'm saying is that we weren't where we are now. My point is that we weren't a part and weren't party to the documents. We were picking cotton in Barbados.
Okay, I understand.
We worked on the plantocracy. We didn't have a say in nothing. So when they went from not having a say in nothing one day to this thing called emancipation in 1830 something or the other, and they said, no, suddenly we're going to include you in a document that you were excluded from originally and afford all these rights unto you. You know that wasn't true, because we had nothing. So what the rules were couldn't apply to us because we didn't have nothing. And shortly after that, they started amending different things, to suit them. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Lots of do's and don'ts.
Okay.
Let's fast forward real quick, and I'll close this by telling you this much. When people argue whether or not we have a constitution, that's not the right question. Whether or not we have a constitution. That would only apply to individuals who are subjects to Barbados. My thing is, at this point, it's time to separate ourselves from the cooperation known as Barbados that has never done anything good to the people of Barbados.
I agree.
It's time we start learning how to govern ourselves, create our
I
own
agree.
entities accordingly, our own republics, if you want to use the word loosely, and start forming our own way forward, man. I mean, the Bible says, come out of her, my people. It's time to come out. It's time to come out.
Correct.
Organize ourselves
Correct.
together and govern ourselves accordingly. We can't possibly do no worse than what the prime servant and her crew is doing. I hope that.
Yeah, well, I thank you very much for the information. I will look up on the 19, what you just said, 16 what?
1653. Look up Barbados charter.
Barbados Charter.
I have it. It's on my personal Facebook page. If you go look to my images, you'll find it somewhere. But no, I could always post it one of these nights. But it was written by Lord Willoughby. Type in Lord Willoughby and Barbados Constitution. I am sure it will come up.
Okay.
Lord Willoughby.
Thank you very much for the information. I just had to get that off my chest because I losing people and I seeing people sick, and it really bothering me that all the time they was doing press conferences and nobody is saying nothing. No, it's really time to speak up.
Facts. You're speaking facts, sis. I appreciate you calling and sharing that as well. I appreciate your energy as well, you and the other sister, man. That's what I'm talking about. Let's have a dialogue. Let's just have a conversation. Brass stacks, don't discuss. Look, brass stack. Look, when I first started this program, right, tell myself we're going to end brass stacks because brass stacks just talk and they don't let you talk certain things because brass stacks is politically inclined. They can't say but certain things. That's why politicians go on brass stacks, but they ain't coming on politically incorrect.
But that's why it comes back to what the young lady was saying. We need to come together as a group, not even a group, as a collective. Everybody that knows that something has been done that is wrong, or everybody, even if there is no opening, whether it was open before or not, we need to come together and stamp this out, because we might not have to deal with it, but we have children and grandchildren, and I refuse to let my children come up as a slave. I refuse to. You understand?
I agree. I agree.
Right. So have a good night, everybody. Blessings to you, Emmanuel. And I just want everybody to just hold the faith.
Yeah, but I give thanks for you coming in and sharing your energy and strength too, because it's people like you that make me come on and do this. You know, I mean, like I said, we started this as me personally was a joke, and then people started telling me about their situations, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like Nurse Beverly. And I heard she wasn't well. I hope she's doing better now. But when she came and told me that nurses don't have health insurance, I'm thinking, how can a nurse work in a hospital around all that illness, all kind of things every day you exposing yourself to, and they don't give you, they don't give you health coverage? Like that don't even make sense to me.
Nonsense.
But I thank you.
Well, a lot of things in Barbados don't make sense. So what can we say?
You know what? See that question you meant? What can we say? We need to stop saying, and we need to, like Sister said, we need to start doing. We need to start doing for ourselves and stop expecting them to do for us what we should be doing for ourselves. Thank you for calling.
Exactly. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
You too, dear. Yes, family. Sis, you heard what the sister was saying. She said your thoughts were valid. You know, what's your response to that?
I did. And, you know, it's people like her that are the ones doing.
That's right.
I can tell. You can always tell the people who are doing. And like I said, I just want to encourage other people. If you feel like you're afraid to do it, share it with somebody who's not afraid to do it. And that's your part. But don't ever just sit and do nothing, because then nothing will get done. Facts. Oh, no, I shouldn't say nothing won't get done. It'll take a little bit longer, but just participate. If you don't want to show your face, you don't have to. But like you said, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people on the battlefield. It's people on the front line. It's nurses. It's people who got to build bombs or whatever. Everybody has a part to play. So if your part is not doing what Emmanuel does, you could do something else. Just do something.
That's right. That's right. You know, I give thanks for that strength, really and truly, man. I mean, it only looks simple, but the conversation I had yesterday with my family in Dominica, and by the way, shout out to the elder in Dominica and the family from Dominica. Dominica, I mean, when I was hearing what was going on, Dominica going through it, you know, Antigua going through it, St. Lucia going through it, St. Vincent, Grenada, Trinidad, Guyana. It's like, yo, man, like, when we go and realize that the best way to solve this is to pool resources, pull on each other's strength, and guide each other through this storm. Like, you know, lock arms, man, lock arms. Like we ain't giving up. We ain't giving no more ground. We digging in.
Agreed.
We ain't giving no more ground. We got a cliff behind us and the oppressor pushing us. So wait a minute. Y'all just gonna stand there, man? Like, dig in, man. Dig in. That's like lamb to the slaughter. Nah, we ain't cut from that fabric at all. Miss Chris
But
Floyd, doesn't see you. I see you.
there was something that you said a couple podcasts elder from St. Vincent. And I think either he said or you said the only thing that really separating us in the region is the flags, And
Facts.
that really hit home for me because if I really think about it, I got uncle that's a Vincentian. I got one of my grandmothers that was from Montserrat. I got some family in St. Lucia. And I'm pretty sure I got a cousin who's a Jamaican.
Wow.
When we all come together in Barbados,
Wow.
at the family reunion, we don't wear flags and say, man, I don't let you call you from Jamaica. No, I still we have a
One
going on
family.
family I see in a long time.
That's
You
right.
understand? So I feel like it's the same thing. Once you get rid of the flags, then you understand that is legit your family.
That's right.
So
That's right.
it's easier to just come together literally and just do something with each other.
Correct. Correct is right, Sharon. Shout out to my family near and far. Good night, family. You're on the air with us. Politically Incorrect. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You might have to unmute your mic. Can you hear me?
Hi, good night.
Hi, good night. Good night.
Oh, you're not hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay. Hi. I just wanted to add a little to that because I'm not a Barbadian, at least not by birth. But one of the things that I wanted to look at was the fact that in all of this we may be afraid, in all of this we may be conscious of what may be said. But sometimes we have to look at the fact that there's a need for you to stand up and be counted. Because in all of the struggles that have happened throughout time immemorial, it took one person to stand up and say, okay, this does not work. There's a need for me to really come forth and do what needs to be done. At least for me, when I look at it, well, our children need to look at the fact that they can look at their parents and say, my parents did not stop and they didn't cower in the face of adversity. We in Barbados, one of the things I notice about Barbados is that Barbados tends to be the leader. And I believe that the other Caribbean countries are looking to Barbados to actually be the ones to come forth and
I agree.
start this movement.
I
So
agree.
This business about not doing and being afraid and not wanting to step on any toes, this needs to stop. Because when all is said and done, we have children who are having a lot of health challenges because of that new medicine that people were forced to take. We have lives and livelihoods that are being destroyed, and there's a need for us because nobody's coming to save us. There's a need for us to stand up and be counted and really forge ahead with what needs to be done.
Facts.
And as the sister said, we keep posting things in chat, but is that all it's going to take? That you're a commando, you are a keyboard commando? It needs to be some action.
I agree.
And we have 3.5 years have gone by. How are we forging? How are we moving forward? There's a need for us to really take stock of what the situation necessitates and to get moving. Nobody's coming to save us.
Well, I like how you put that because I don't want to at the risk of sounding religious. There's a verse in the Bible that talks about working till I come. I know Christians are waiting for the return of Christ.
He said occupy
till I come. So my thing is, and again, this is not me being religious. I'm simply saying, even if you're waiting for someone to come and save you, and you into the Christian faith and you trust in the Almighty to come and get you, you're given instructions to work, occupy yourself, do what you go in there for. You're supposed to do things till the master return. So all I'm saying is that we have a duty as a people not to just sit on our hands and do nothing. That's why I said I spend a lot of time knocking at the system, pointing out different things, going at different politicians and whatnot. And I come to realize, you know what? All them times, all that years I was doing that, I could have been building as well. Not saying I couldn't have done that, but I wasn't doing that and building. I was just doing that. And it's like being on a treadmill. I was being exhausted, but I wasn't accomplishing anything because they kept on doing what they've been doing, and they're still doing what they've been doing. Look at the civil rights in America. Look at different groups, the Black Panthers and I mean the Gangster Disciples and different groups that came out, Bloods and Crips that originally started for the same reason, although they got a bit derailed. The point is that I don't even want to talk Black Lives Matter. What has really changed? We're still in the same situation because we were not building our own. Although we try to build our own and different things happen, yes, different things happen, yes, Garvey and the others. My point is, let us learn from all the errors that was made before and continually improve as we move forward, not for our sakes, but for the sake of our children and the sake of our children, to ensure that we at least leave a legacy for them.
Exactly. That is the word.
Something
legacy.
to work on. Like, don't make that mistake now. I made that one already. So go that way this time. And let's figure this out. It may take generations, it may not. The point I want to make is let's not pass a burden on to them, but let's pass on the baton where they can take it and build on the solid rock that we already started on. You know,
I agree wholeheartedly.
Well, appreciate you calling and sharing as well. Definitely, thank you. Like I said, family, tonight is the open mic. Is your night. Feel free to call in and share your, I won't even say your 2 cents, you know, put your thoughts out there. Make it happen. This is invaluable conversation and information that we're sharing amongst each other. You know, by the way, shout out to my brother from another mother over there in Brooklyn by way of Guyana. I gotta definitely shout you out when you get a chance. Like you said, we gotta have that conversation. Appreciate love, the energy, and the connection, because it's with the connections that we're going to make this happen. Because things happen on the ground, like the sister rightfully said. It's about boots on the ground, man. So who on the ground know who on the ground, and who ain't on the ground wouldn't know. And that's for obvious reasons. Miss Critchlow, I see you. Shout out to my family there in the East Coast. You know, the First family, the Royal family, King Kevin and the others, man. The whole clan, the kingdom on the eastern side of the territory. We love it. The kingdom on that side. Don't worry, we got kingdoms coming all over just now. Just now. We ain't dealing with the more parishes. We ain't dealing with that. We done with that. It's time to restore the order, family. Oh, man. Somebody know what time it is. 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 Maximum salute on that one, you know what I mean? Indeed, because Black love overrule oppression and destruction all day, every day. All day, every day. For sure. This is why talking about family, when communities start to come together. You know what I'm saying? Real thing. That's gonna mean a lot to who it means a lot to. Full stop. Oh man, loving the energy, man. Slave to the system.
But you know what, Emmanuel?
What's that?
You know what, Emmanuel? You talk about the civil rights movement. You talk about a lot of things just now. You mentioned a lot of things. But the only thing that is different with then and now is that they didn't have people like us then.
Facts.
If you understand what I'm saying, it's different. The energy is different. A lot of different things is gonna happen.
I like what Wayne just said, though. Wayne said this discussion, these discussions are basically the same across the region. That's a facts. That's pure facts. I mean, I'm having this conversation. Everybody, but hold on. But guess what? And the brethren put it up here right now. We look to Barbados for diplomacy. We look to Haiti and Jamaica for examples of revolution. The diplomacy seems to be coming watered down, though. Deep. Well, let me just reassure my family that we ain't fed and diluted. This is premium. This is 191 proof. That stuff to make a chest hair perm, man. It's time that we take this to another level, you see. And I know that people look at Barbados a sort of way in the region. And the truth is, if they're on the ground, they will see that there are people in Barbados who are making a significant difference. But those voices are not promoted. Those voices are not heard as much as perhaps some other louder individuals. But yet, we hear. We hear. And it's important that we recognize that we are to continue putting in the work, pushing forward, pushing the agenda forward, more and more and more and more. No matter what they say, no matter how they try to stop it, no matter what they try, we can't be silenced. We will not be silenced. We will let our voices be heard. And speaking of voices, let me say welcome, 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 Jackie, one of our day one. Welcome to Politically Incorrect.
Greetings, family. Greetings.
Greetings, greetings.
How are you doing?
Greetings, Jackie.
Jackie, you all
Greetings,
aware what
sister.
you all aware.
Concrete jungle, concrete jungle. Yeah. I'm here. So, yes, good night, everyone, again. So, my thing is that I'm hearing, we have to step up, we have to come in and do stuff. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jackie.
Awesome. Just do something, do something. I think in some people's minds, like, what? I know they say do this, do that, but they're so accustomed being told what to do, right? So it's the point now, what do we do? So I am here in the Sacred Sister Syndicate. So we are part of a group, I would say a group again, community, where we created our own, what should I say, society. So every Sunday we have vendors, Black owned females. Most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So all these females with businesses, they will just pay a whole fee to, showcase this stuff. And then we have this poetry, we have like a family thingy. And I'm just saying that doing things like that, little things that help each other. Instead of waiting for people to say, you can do this, you can do that. But coming together again, as all of you are saying, it's just that. And when you have a group of women that can work together without being jealous, because you know how we do. We get jealous of each other. Sorry, man. We get jealous. Listen. But when you can have a group of women, wow, that can just share and show love and buy stuff from each other, things like that. Then the husbands know are coming in with them. So I know our Bajan family, they're very talented. They can do anything. And instead of just getting stuff from outside, just do things like that. But I know there are a few sisters home that's doing that. I know my queen's home. They're doing their thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying about forming different alliances with people and connecting, because, like you said, we do there's a lot of us doing things different places. One of the things that we got to also start to do, and I agree with you, Jackie, in terms of forming communities, but we got to know, we already organize. We got a lot of organizations. We now got to centralize so we can mobilize. And that's where I'm at. I'm encouraging folks now, let's centralize. Let's bring these different connections. Let's not separate, well, we got this over here and this over here and this over here. Let's start to bring it together. We don't all have to agree on the same thing, but let's centralize so we can mobilize and move this whole thing forward as one unit. Because that's strength. That's strength. That's where the power lies, in decentralizing and mobilizing.
Yes. And when women realize how powerful they are, really, really are, the world would spin.
I know it's that time.
Sorry, we just need to come together, especially females. I always go on that because we cry down each other too much. It's too much jealousy. It's not necessary.
Jackie, let me ask you a question. Let me throw this out here now while you're here, because I know a lot of people speak on this female thing. Me about the family thing though, and I don't knock it. I don't knock sisters want to have a sister group exclusively or men in the men's group exclusively. I don't think I would ever create such. My thing is family always, because I know, right, that we need to heal as a people. And man do things, woman do things, sometimes man hate woman and woman hate man, and we go all this back and forth. You see, the family, that unity, that first institution, when we could really, like you said, help the women heal and the men heal and start to focus on building the family. The minute we restore the family, everything is going to be resolved. That's, well, unless I'm wrong, I could be wrong. I don't know everything, despite
you're right.
For me, it's family. And we got to find ways to help each other heal. So sisters coming together, yes, we work together as a community, but it has to be about also healing. Men coming together, yes, men, talk, whatever, do whatever, dominoes, whatever, but it has to be about healing, because at the end of it, when you go your respective ways, the intention should always be to build back family first.
This is why we gotta fix the women and stop us from being jealous of each other, because their man can't talk to another person unless they get upset and jealous. So if we can allow, I use the word very loosely because nobody can allow anybody to do anything, but if they can accept that and stop, woman is the family foundation. I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that, but if a woman head is not right, the family is not going to stand together.
Well, let me ask you a question. And by the way, I agree with you on that wholeheartedly.
It's my opinion.
No. That's your thoughts, man. That's your thoughts. That's your thoughts. Let me ask you a question. So, women, you said, he helped the women heal. You think a man can help a woman to heal?
Yeah, of course. Because if we can understand why she's not being able to heal by herself, I am assuming that, and it's mostly about the man, talking together, communication is, and you can heal together, of course, or he heal her. It's a together thing.
I agree. There's a verse in the Bible I always like to quote, though, and God, and let's use this as a reference point. Most people are raised by Christians in a Christian home, at least in my generation. Well, in the Caribbean, that may not be the case for the world, but let me see to put it. Shout out to Wayne Dreadnought joining us too, by the way. Greetings, my brother, elder amongst us. Let me say this, man. There's a verse where God said, "It'd be better for a man," and men may agree with me on this one, I don't know. It said it'd be better for a man to live on the rooftop of a house than to live in the house with a contentious woman. Now, let me say this, and I'm probably going to get flack for this, but somebody got to say it. Is it, let me put it in the form of a question. Maybe that will lessen the blow a bit. Is there such a thing? Because, I hear a lot of this, misogynist, he's egotistical, the male ego, the man dominant, this male, all that, he's narcissistic, all kind of stuff. All right. Is there such a thing as a toxic woman?
Oh man.
It goes both ways.
Because wait, hold on. Because the Bible say, again, I am trying to get religious. God said, brother man, let me paraphrase it. God said, listen, man, let me tell you something. You there arguing with that one, right? Let me tell you something. It be better, me, God telling you, man, it is better for you to go on top that roof with the permaclad in the middle of the hot sun and sit down upon it and be more comfortable than to stay in that house and argue with that contentious, miserable woman. Is there such a thing as a woman that's so hurt that she becomes destructive? That's just my question, man. I'm asking a woman a question.
That's a question for a man to answer. I'm being honest. For me,
you see men how women are. They go love them,
Jackie. You can answer that. Let's be real. There are some toxic women out there. We don't need a man to answer that. There are definitely some toxic women out there. Definitely.
Somebody said me a toxic. I don't know.
Oh God. Why go on the roof and not talk to the female? Why just run and go and hide instead of trying to talk it out? Then that's what I'm saying.
But that's the thing, though. A lot of people don't even understand how to talk to each other, let alone talking to a toxic woman. Women don't even understand how they are toxic, why they are toxic, because they don't even understand themselves at other levels. So they don't even know how to communicate with a man.
Whoa, that's deep.
That's the
truth.
I can't listen to that one right there.
Andrea said toxic goes both ways. We know that the men been blamed for years, Andrea. You ain't gotta include us in that statement. You could just say women are toxic too. You ain't gotta. You see, always look, man. I'm gonna tell you all this. Man. Once we start to heal as a people, like all the problems we think we have with government or me, like I said, me and Martley and the government, all these things are only possible when we are not in our right status, when we are not in our right minds. And that's why these things become possible, because we're not in our right standing. Because once we have the family unit first, that's strong, and we're raising our children to be strong, and we have a strong mindset, and we connected with strong mindset families, and we building that block, like locking shoulders and building that strength. A lot of things that happen in the society ain't gonna happen because we're not gonna just lay down and say, oh well, you know, what you gonna do? Nah, we ain't gonna be doing that. We about strength. We about the strength, man. And I got another caller here. Somebody called in. Good night and welcome to Politically Incorrect. You're live with us.
Hi, I just had to come back to join in this part of the conversation.
Yo, hold on a second. None of y'all men out here ain't gonna come and bail me out. You will leave me alone. Come on, man. Yeah, go ahead, sis. You're live with us.
You don't need no. If it is one thing I am, it is that I am honest, right? You will need help. You will need help. As a female, one of the things that I can tell you is that you will find there are toxic females, there are contentious females, and I think that it has a lot to do with the strength that a woman brings to anything that she has to do or undertake. And one of the things that she needs to be conscious of is who she gives her energy to, and what purposes that she aligns herself with. Because the moment that you find that there is trauma of any kind, that is going to end up corrupting and to some extent destroying not only her destiny, but that of the other people that she comes into contact with. So if you have a woman who has been traumatized in any way, shape, or form, that means that one, the men that she will have contact with in the years to come will feel the effects of that. The children that she will birth and raise will feel the effects. So what you're finding is that, especially for us in the Caribbean, we are a matriarchal society. So we have a lot of women, wounded women, traumatized women, hurt women, who are raising young men and young women, the future of the country. But they themselves are walking wounded. They're hurt, and they hurt people. So they are hurt, and they are in turn hurting their children. They are hurt, and they are in turn hurting the men that they come into contact with. So you have a male. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
So you have a male being raised by a woman who has been traumatized and hurt. He will look at that, and it will impact the kind of the quality of female that he in turn is attracted to. It will also affect how he treats any female that he comes into contact with. So that is something that, I mean, you thought that you were going to get flack for that, but I think if we're being honest, as females, that is something that we need to look at in terms of why it is in some instances we keep dating the same man over and over again. He may be in a different shape, size, form. He has a different job. He has a different accent. He may be living in a different country, but it's always the same kind of person who tends to be toxic for you. Or it just seems like you're repeating a pattern.
A cycle.
Yes.
I like what the sister just said there, Nubian Queen. She talked about women and men can help each other heal. And I think that's very important that we recognize, even in a relationship where if you are genuinely sincere and you have the interest of the person you're with at heart, you know, it's a lot easier to say, you know what, sis, you know, I see your greatness, I see your full potential, and be empathetic enough to understand that before you, there were other people who may have left some scars. And those scars sometimes may be even so deeply rooted in childhood experiences, because from my understanding, they say a lot of women suffer abuse, some emotional abuse, some sexual abuse. And so a lot of females have deeply rooted scars. And although they may gloss over it because, you know, they get used to it and live with it, the truth is a lot of that psychologically play out in your behavior towards how you treat men, how you interact with other people. And so that you said the children then suffer from it because they get to see you at your good and your worst. Unfortunately, then, like you said, hurt people end up hurting people. But once we could start to find ways to heal, again, we can't talk about building a community You know, we talk always building community and we want to do this and that, and we
You
wonder
need
why.
to build yourself first.
The reason why it doesn't work is because Michael Jackson said it best, man. We got to start with who?
The man in the
Man
mirror.
in the mirror. You got to take a look at yourself, you know, and look into yourself like, I got some real ways,
Messed
you know
up
what I mean?
ways.
It may not be in the interest of the whole. I can't be a part of something greater than myself, and it got to be all about me. It can't be all about me because I'm just a small part of a whole. I'm an individual, yes,
Cog in the
but I'm
wheel.
part of a whole, which is much greater than myself. So, like politicians, that's why I call our prime minister a prime servant. I don't say that being disrespectful. Being a prime servant is probably one of the greatest positions you could hold in any society. You're the head one that's supposed to serve all the people. Heavy the head that wears a crown. I don't envy her because I know that is a lot of work required. However, what I will say though is, if you're not doing a good job, then seek
Step
to get
over.
help with those around you that really do have the interest of people at heart. Because I personally feel this is just my opinion, like Jackie, that our prime servant is being manipulated, being undermined, and usurped by individuals right in her own camp. So, she got to deal with both sides of the fence. So my thing is, what I mean, a ship that is at sea and you got crew members drilling holes in it, man, everybody on board is in danger here. So I had nothing against no DLP, no BLP, or nobody. Those who doing wrong gonna meet their judgment. There's a universal order. They gonna meet their judgment. I ain't got to bring judgment to Dr. Best who talking all the stuff he talking, because the fact is, look, they've been talking that crap for the last 3 years and they still doing it. If folks feel that passionate about it, well, Allahu Akbar, read between the lines, man. Other than that, focus on empowering the people, building a community, and strengthening individuals who may be not so strong amongst us, and let's move forward. Let's leave them right where they at. We ain't got no time to waste with them right now. It's time to heal the family, heal our children, and heal the lands that we move forward with people. That's my position, man.
I agree.
True. Help each other.
Help each other along the way, man. That's how it is, man. As far as men toxic, women toxic, look, my thing is this, that's why I said, it has a touch one day, because right now women have been hurt so much. The black woman in the Caribbean, let me use the Caribbean, throughout the Caribbean. The story of the Caribbean woman has probably never been told. I don't think there's a woman in the world, and that's not to take anything from Africa or any other woman, any part of the world, because women have gone through a lot, yes. But you see, the Caribbean, like, they don't even tell you the truth. Look at Barbados. Barbados don't even tell you the truth about, quote unquote, the years of enslavement. All they tell you that you were enslaved, then you got free. Okay, they had a revolution in 1816, Bassa, and then one in 1937 and something so. Okay. Why were these people revolting? Barbados had countless revolutions. Why? What were they doing to the people that was so harsh that folks kept fighting to get away? What is it they were doing? What is it they were doing? They don't even talk about the atrocities that happened in this land here, the genocides, the slaughter of men and women and children. They don't talk about it, especially women who suffered the most. Don't talk about it, man. We got a lot to heal from, and we can only do it together, collectively. I got somebody else here coming on. I don't think your device is connected, sister. Another sister coming on, and you may got to log out and try again. Wait a minute. Greetings, good night. Welcome to Politically Incorrect.
Good night, everyone. Greetings.
Good night.
Greetings, sis. Greetings.
Red, white, the wrong look.
Man.
Welcome to Politically Incorrect. The open mic. Your mic is your mic. Talk your truth, man.
So we're talking about healing and stuff now, right?
Right.
What I would like to know is, what are the one's thoughts on a poly relationship?
Oh man, don't do it. Oh man.
Oh,
Hey, hold on a minute. Let me
man.
start
Oh,
real quick.
man.
I don't know who sent you, boy. I don't know who sent you. Listen here, man. Don't go down that road at all. I'm telling you.
It's something that needs to be spoken about.
You know what? I might as well end this program and start a fresh one, because You know what? This is what you're gonna do. I just gonna go in the corner real quick here, and y'all have your say. I have your say. My mic on mute. Go ahead. Ask your questions.
So I would like some feedback once.
The females are there. Let them feed forward. I quiet. My mic.
Daffodil.
So that was
Christina.
the question.
My sister, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am wonderful. That's a real interesting question. I don't even know if our women are ready for that type of relationship. But it is a conversation that is being had.
Look at Wayne. Look at
Correct.
Wayne.
Wayne says one ship at a time, please.
Yeah, Wayne laughing at me,
Man,
man. Wayne laughing
we all
at
on
me,
the
man.
same ship. We on the same ship. Rasta man in trouble.
Oh dear.
I good. I just, you know what? I just going. Let me get some water. I can mind my business.
I feel like there's always been elements of polygynous relationships in the Caribbean. You know, everybody always had that one granddaddy who would always have different relationships with different women in the village, and everybody would always happen to get along. It's pretty much the same thing. All the women would get along. Everybody go shop together. Everybody go cook together. Some people send food at this house one
And be
Sunday.
one
Some
happy
people send
family.
food at that Sunday. And everybody happy. Everybody happy. But
But
the
one of
difference is now is that society has really pushed
stigmatized it.
this whole vibe about use mine ownership. Ownership is the problem. You can't own a person. You cannot own a person. That's not what it is at all. You can't own anybody. If you practice detachment and you just let things be, you're gonna be good. Oh, Maria Paul says, nah, I ain't sharing my goodness. I mean, but it's not yours though. You can't own a person. I mean, Maria, I feel you, but the reality is you cannot own a person. A man is gonna do what a man will do, regardless.
So it's either you accept it or he like both and do it. So just be one happy family. You and the woman be
Exactly.
comfortable with one another. Everybody go together with one another. Everybody at some time be together with one another. Ain't a jealousy, no envy. Everybody just happy.
But I
Exactly.
think
But
that one of the
my
things
thing
that
is
we need
though,
to
right,
look at though
Daffodil?
is the origins. Where did this come from? Because if we look from biblical times, you had these types of relationships and it wasn't an issue because at the end of the day, in terms of sharing and that whole collective, there's a lot more to be gained than to actually be than to cause it to be detrimental. And then you had the Europeans coming in and saying, no, this cannot work because at the end of the day, it was a case that you had a woman who probably had a lot of lands and she had a lot of riches. And as a result of that, you wanted to not just secure your line, your bloodline, but you also wanted to keep all of the wealth within one family. So in terms of that whole generational wealth thing going on, that is where you had that one man, one woman thing. But then the Bible tells you that Abraham, for example, had more than one wife. The Bible tells you Solomon had more than one wife. He had more than one wife, yes. We know that he, as a king, he would have had liaisons because of political reasons. But I don't know about you. I know that for me personally, there were times that in my younger days, you'd be dating probably two or three people, or you'd be interested in two or three people, and you figure, oh, this would make the perfect one person. If they could just um if you could put all of them together, they make the perfect one person. But you're not gonna find everything in one person.
I like what Sister Andrea said about it has to be for the purpose of generating generational wealth and individual growth. I
Not
personally myself may not oppose the idea, but again, it has to be with a purpose in mind. It can't just be about one's own pleasure or some Jerry Springer trilateral showdown. It must have some degree of purpose. And the irony is that genetically speaking, in a time I suppose when it is necessary, it may be relevant, because the way I see things now, if they say, for example, and I could be wrong again, please correct me, if there are 8 women to 1 man in Barbados in terms of the ratio,
Oh dear.
and they claim that half the men are no good anyhow, at least based on what people say, that means that it's really 16 to 1.
And some of them took the
That is
program
my
together.
point, Emmanuel. That is my point. That's
gets
just
even
how
deeper.
idols be thinking.
I don't know. I mean, I hear a lot of women say, "I praying on Jesus to get a husband. I waiting on Jesus." I'm thinking, man, I don't know if that's realistic. But what you're saying is that you condemn 15 women to live alone for the rest of their life because you found you're a good man. I don't believe in telling the wife you going to
But to
quiet
find
practice.
them got
and then you can
very
go back to
seldom
your
decent men around now. That the women got mature in the mind.
But that's the point I was coming to just now, Daffodil. It's not just that you want to enter into a relationship with a guy and then 2 other women. It's not that simple. First of all, that man has to be on a certain level for that relationship to even work. If not, he's going to have his queens. Sorry, I forgot we can't use queens. He's going to have the ladies of the household just fighting. You have to have a man who is balanced. He has to be emotionally balanced. He has to be spiritual. He has to understand women, because all of us are going to be different. He all has to balance all of us. If he can't do that, then we fighting.
Well, somebody made a statement here. Mystic made a very good statement, a point in terms of, and I saw a video again there with another fight. People being violent. Let me say this too. I think Maria said it earlier. Happy home, happy man, happy woman is happy home. Violence is a funny thing because usually people who are hurt lash out, and this goes back to the healing idea. And if your home is a happy home, it's an environment where you may feel so comfortable, you may slowly start letting your walls down. You may slowly start looking at ways to let go of some of that pain, let go of some of that trauma, and the environment may be so wholesome. It may help to grow, like Sister just said, in terms of personal development. We'll never associate that kind of relationship with healing. But you know what? The idea that somebody lying to you and behind your back and running around and this kind of stuff, it may trigger stuff in the past. It may remind you of your parents. It may remind you of previous relationships. Like, we all got healing to do. And if you find an environment that is wholesome for you, I don't see why you can't engage in such once it's something that's consensual and respected by all the parties involved. I'm not using this to justify this, but in a society that says it is okay for 2 men to marry, not that I'm for or against. My thing is that is not my cup of tea, so I ain't drinking it. You understand? That ain't my business. However, and I wouldn't promote it. However, in a society that would say that that's okay, and one that would say that other people can encourage children to be a certain way regarding certain letters, to the point where you got to almost be cautious how you speak so that they don't try to censor you, which is crazy. You could be outright blatant and say, yeah, this and that, and bonfire and all that kind of, yeah, fine. The reality though is the family structure that deals with life, promoting life in its natural order, not in some evolving way. If it's to evolve that way, well, I guess in time we will know. But at the precipice of this point, we're not all subscribed to that ideology. There's still a need for family. And if family can consist of a relationship where there's multiple individuals working for the collective good of the all, man, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's their business, as far as I'm concerned, and not necessarily the business of others who may have a religious or political idea otherwise. Don't forget, on the plantation, we were paired deliberately to produce a particular type of offspring. They wanted strong workers, so they would pair people on purpose to produce a certain offspring. I think that we should look at the science and realize, as a people, as a family, if we desire to have more leaders amongst us, we can't just be recklessly running around having children recklessly. We got to have a purpose in mind, an intention in mind, and goals in mind, that what we do is purposeful, like Sister said. It has to be a purpose. We ain't doing this for no fun. This is about a purpose. And if you subscribe to that purpose, yeah, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it, personally speaking. That's my 2 cents. Tyrone Green, I see
I
you here.
agree.
Tyrone, the link is on the screen. Wait a minute. Let me put it back up. If you want to come on in, let me put the link up. Feel free. I got a whole crew of sisters here having a conversation, a very serious conversation. And one more thing, somebody asked about the price of food earlier. For a man to have multiple homes, there are different bills, man, as opposed to having all under one roof and one set of bills, one set of shopping. You buy in bulk now, you know you might get it cheaper, as opposed to having supply light water, groceries to every location.
And
being
not just that, Emmanuel. If you look at it well, there's a saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Mhm.
You would have several mothers, you would have several offspring, you would have a lot more influence, you'd have a lot more. To me, in terms
Guidance.
of, yes, there's a lot more guidance, there's a lot more support. Many hands make light work. It's not necessarily something that I've thought about or given much thought to. Growing up in a nuclear family, one has one parent, well, two parents and children, but I can see that I can see the merit behind it.
Well, if you want to come on the live,
Like
feel free to do so. This conversation have taken a turn. The link is on the chats in the chats on YouTube as
They
well as
have
Facebook.
they have different stages in life.
also like what my sister said earlier. It happened back because I have a sister, that's not from both parents, but she would be a part of our family. We come, she stay, we eat, and it happened and it worked again back in those days. So what changed all of that? It makes sense.
Well,
So
Jackie, I think in some cases it will work for those who have that objective in mind, and perhaps others who have a hidden agenda. Obviously, that wouldn't work. But I don't think we should throw out the baby with the bath water. It will work for some, perhaps it won't work for others. But again, you have to know where you are within your own healing and with your own development. And that's not perhaps weight that's meant for everyone to carry. And so that's just my 2 cents on that
yeah,
for now. To be continued, this
it
particular
worked.
conversation on polygamy relationships. I'm sure that we could spend a whole week on this conversation alone. But I want to thank you all for sharing those thoughts. And I have a question before y'all go, and y'all could give me an answer, your thoughts on that. Um, in the society now, you see children at an earlier age getting in quote unquote relationships. How would you advise your children who who seek to want to be in a relationship at a very early age in 2023? What advice as a parent you would render to them in this day and age? I'm sure y'all are mothers, right?
What do you consider young?
Well, let me go. Well, I'll speak on what I know. Right now, I know of a 15-year-old young lady who lives with a young man. He's probably 26 or 27 years old.
Okay.
You said she's 15.
15.
I
I know. Yeah.
What are the
Wow.
circumstances surrounding that relationship? Was it financially based?
I think her mother put her out.
Which is always the issue.
Right. So that
Again,
that suggests that
So
you
I
have
think
some kind of.
circumstances dictated, that to some degree.
yeah.
So in a case like
But
that, that would have been more like an economic decision versus I'm here because I necessarily want to be.
they don't know. You can't really know at 15 what you really.
And not just
Whew.
that, Jackie, if you think about it, at 15,
I
this
agree.
gentleman is 11 years older than you are. You feel
There you go.
beholden to him because he would be responsible for your upkeep and for your maintenance. Um,
Manipulation as well.
Yeah,
Manipulation
to my mind, there might be some measure of emotional manipulation, guilt tripping as well. For me, I am a parent, and one of the things that I believe that young people need to understand now is that, in as much as we see a lot of sexualization of everything on television, what you see in Hollywood does not necessarily equate to what real life is all about. And um, there's a need for you to know yourself and know what you want, because in a lot of instances, the decisions that you make now, they have far-reaching consequences,
Yep.
and they would be detrimental not just to you as an individual, but to any offspring that you may have during the course of that relationship, or even then the scars that you may bring into relationships with other people and even with your children. It comes back to that whole trauma. So, in as much as I know, for me, based on my job, I'm aware that there are a lot of situations that are very unwholesome and unsavory, that are economically um, generated or economically propelled, and we need healing as a nation. It goes back to that. We need healing, and I don't believe that if you were speaking about what polygamous relationships, but I don't believe that if that child had a support system, if that young lady had a support system, that she would find herself necessarily in a situation such as that.
Well, I don't doubt that, and that's why I kind of threw it out there because again, once you break down the family, you break down the society, and that's just the reality. Regardless of what type of family structure you have, whether like my friend here, Sonia, who suggests two men and two women raising children, or otherwise, the family being broken is how they are able to pull all these things off. So while we are debating each other in terms of who more toxic, who done more damage, let us remember that we need to heal ourselves, each one of us, and in so doing, restore our family because it's the destruction of the family that causes the ills and the woes in society. And that's just a reality. So it's time to
and
rebuild, time to get back, time to reconnect with family. And I think now we who are here, who are now more cognizant than before, have a duty to future generations to restore the family the way it's supposed to be.
I just want to piggyback off what you said. As a mother, again, I going
Now, you
back to
can't
the
piggyback
women.
on that, Jackie. You had to idle back on
No,
that, but go
I
ahead.
mean, sorry, let me right on your heart. Um, I honestly, this is a real pet peeve for me that a mother should be putting a 15, 14, 12, any girl, child that age. Oh, I'm sorry. If you can't talk to your child, you are the problem. I'll say it again. If you can't talk to us, I don't care how much trouble that child is given. If you can't talk to that child, you are the problem.
Facts.
Child should
Working
also
with
feel
people,
comfortable enough to come take parents too.
yeah, but you can't talk.
Facts.
Some parents you can't talk to. You know this. Oh my gosh.
However it come out, just let it come out. Let me deal with it.
Oh
Yeah.
no, and you get a slap and get put out. Do you see? And that's what
Daffodil,
you
some
do.
parents are violent. Some parents are
Yeah,
violent,
they slap
Daffodil.
you. You can't say anything. I'm just saying, if you can't do it, call somebody in. Help, ask for help. Just don't put them on the street. Are you kidding me?
And Jackie, the
I'm
reason
sorry.
for that would we're back to square one. The reason for that would have been some sort of trauma or past hurts that would
I
have a
understand.
mother to do that.
I understand. But there are people
Well, that's
around.
where the healing comes.
Yeah,
That's where the
I'm
healing
sorry.
has to come in.
That's a pet peeve for me.
Wayne just made a very pertinent point that women will put out their female children because their female children's behaviors remind the mothers of themselves at that age. Wow.
They are the problem. You see? Yeah. And
Wow.
it is so true. Thank you, Wayne. It's the truth.
It does go back, and that's my point that a lot of what we're dealing with now is unresolved trauma. And once we start to, like, life is a math problem. It's an equation. Once you find the formula, you get the answer. And once we have the answer, we can fix this. But we can't fix it unless we start to look inward and recognize that we gotta fix ourselves first. Like the airplane, you gotta put on your mask, man. You gotta check yourself, get yourself in order, and move forward. Otherwise, no matter what we do, we've been through a lot for generational. The generational trauma we carry in. Don't even know why we behave that way. A lot of stuff going on. So we got to look at this thing very serious and very holistic. Right? And I'll say that until the cows come home. If we do not fix self, we cannot fix anything. And it has to start with self, it has to restore the family. And in so doing, we get everything else going. And so that's my position. You have to admit you need fixing. I agree, Maria. Listen, family, it's been great having you all. It's already, this was interesting. And I could say this is obviously to be continued, family, clearly.
And this is why Fade works.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it does. And I will say that, for those who are not aware, the numbers on the screen, 246-838-8253. Feel free to join us and be a part of what we're doing. Just send a message and someone will contact you. But sisters, I want to say to be continued. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna do this again soon. I promise. I promise. But thanks for coming in and sharing your thoughts as we organize to go forward.
You're most welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Blessed
Thank you.
night, all.
Blessed
Thank
night. Blessed night. Yeah, that was oh man, what do I say to that? That wasn't expected. And no, the Rastaman did not in trouble. See, y'all wishing bad for me. Nah, that's not how that's gonna go down at all. I'm open to learn. I'm not on here like I'm some superior teacher. I learn so much from these comments. Sometimes I read back and go and do my homework and be like, I didn't know that. So I learn so much from other people who coming in and making it happen. Like, and so my thing is, it's not about me. It's a we thing. It's a we thing. It's a we thing. Let me have a conversation. Let's have a conversation and see where it goes, and start making notes and share our thoughts and learn from each other. That's how I'm looking at it. So I appreciate y'all staying in. And Rosemary Lynn, hey, she said, stimulate. I didn't even know you in the building, family. Why you ain't calling, Rosemary? You always got a lot to tell me when you link me. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact you have a lot to say. Hey, we're gonna do this again soon, Rosemary. You have a chance to come and share. I look forward to hearing you as well. The next time we do this, maybe we can actually set this up as a standard night so we know that it's open for the family. And I'm supposed to got a guest on this Wednesday again. He wanted to make it last week. I trust that he can make it this week. I'm so looking forward to that conversation and the guest on Friday. But if they can't make it, maybe I'll just open the mic again and let it flow. So be sure to stay tuned. Be sure to tune in, and be sure to tell a friend to do what? Tell a friend. That's how the word going to get away. Get out to others that may not be aware of how much fun we be having on here in a serious manner. Who say you can't laugh on the battlefield? You know what I mean? If you don't laugh, you probably would cry. Anyhow, family, there's so much we could discuss. But I agree with the sister that first start. How we going to survive? How we going to survive? Like I said, Fade has some initiatives going on. If you're interested, the number is 246-838-8253. Send a WhatsApp message, and someone will respond to you. I am sure of that. Anyhow, that song we played earlier, though, the brother right there, man. I like the brother vibes, man. The brother be dropping it, man. Orlando be dropping it. I can't tell a lie. I can't tell a lie, man. Different music, different energy, positive vibes. I think I might drop that one again, or I might drop something different. I ain't sure. I might drop something different. What do you feel? Tell me what y'all feel, man. Tell me what y'all think. Drop something different, or let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. Let me go ahead and share something real quick. Hang on. I tell y'all, the music contains a message. Don't miss the message. Looking at the messenger. Listen to the message.
Start a denomination. Denomination is started by men. That's why you have so many of them.
That one for the top.
What denomination do you follow?
I don't follow no denomination. We don't have denomination. The Lord our God didn't start a denomination. Denomination is started by men. That's why you have so many of them.
Denominations are started by men. That's why you have so many of them. Denominations or denominations. Tell a friend, family.
Them say them don't want the positive vibes, is a negative spell and the youths them under. If you not sing about y'all and gun and what you have on them, don't want hear them song, yeah. When me stand up for righteousness, the conquering lion from the tribe of Judah. And it no matter what them say. Hey, when I stand firm in Babylon, should I know we are the jewels of this western land. Repent and return to save the generation. We living in the last years revelation. Hey, Yahweh, please help me get out of them religion. Help me to open my mouth when I see wrong. Cause I'm an rebel and he's an rebel. They watching, they fighting, they trying to stop me, but I'm an rebel. Them set up, them chop, them Pharisees. Give us disease and sell remedies. And them why you pay for salvation. Them digging out the poor man pocket. Ready to cash once you full them bucket. And this stash when you hide, you fi bring it. One bag of lie they teach us in the name of Jesus. It that take a genius. We see this tricks and politics deception. Them use fi catch man. Who to the man a build him house without foundations.
Message.
We see how we conquer the enemy. Firm in Babylon.
Stand firm, family.
The jewels of this western land. Repent and return to save the generation. Last year's revelation.
Living in the last days, family.
Mama, please help me get out of them religion. Help me to up when I see wrong.
Serious.
Cause I'm an rebel and he's an rebel. They watching, they fighting, they trying to stop me, but I'm an rebel. Yahweh, please help me get out of them religion.
Rebellion time, family.
Help me to open my mouth when I see wrong.
Rebellion time, family.
Cause I'm an rebel.
Come on to her, my people.
I'm a rebel. They watching, they fighting, they trying to stop me, but I'm an rebel. Cause I'm an rebel.
I'm a rebel.
And he's an rebel.
I'm a rebel.
They watching, they fighting, they trying to stop me, but I'm an rebel.
Listen, family, all I can tell you is the word rebellion, right, is 2 words. Rebellion is 2 words. Keep that in mind. My mom said, come 23 minutes late and my belly full. Listen, it's a buffet style thing, man. You know, take what you need and leave the rest for others, man. Brethren, full respect and salute. Give thanks for the energy and the synergy. I rates right through, man. This is just how divinity does just link up at this point. You know, we just sharing, man. Sharing, man. You play the one, you're the one revelation. Look, man, only because you asked me, you know, that ain't the truth, man. I already had it here lined up already, man. You know what I mean? I had it lined up already, man. You don't know. These are big tunes, family. Put these in your playlist. Put this in your playlist, in your car, on your iPhone, on your Samsung.
Revelation.
You too, man. You too.
Prepare for them food shortage.
Yes.
Ask about them seed bank storage.
Yes.
Social media, what a distraction with them demonic forces. Tell me who them sources. What's the ingredients of them sauces? Give your prime ministers and religious leaders, find out who them bosses. Oh, them full of money, oh. Now make the 1% them happy, oh. Tell your elect but you can't select. Watch the options them keep giving you. Who get the contracts? The one with contacts. Poor people get less money with more tax.
Tell a friend, family. Share, like, and subscribe. Y'all already know, man. Share, like, and subscribe, man. It's the algorithm thing, man.
Them have that can't buy salvation. One behind the struggle, out for the battlefield. Oh, yeah, no, man, fed up with oppression. Man, stand up for me, I'm know.
Yes.
Man, I call for you, I'm know. Got to detach on the system. Self-sufficient. Self-sufficient man fast.
Self-sufficient time, family.
Take myself away.
Take yourself away from the system, man. Yes.
What control we mentally?
Yes.
Make microchip enter it. Stop your income when your food done. You're going to give in eventually. Remember, prayer without works is dead. God help those who help themselves. Not put them faith in our riches and wealth. Ignore them health and still end up in a hell. Man turn Judas, girl turn Jezebel. So the man tomorrow, enough of them blind follow. See them today, you know see them tomorrow. Pastors extorting the masses. Politician knocking champagne glasses. And one like the smarties. To them off them passes. The people are gonna perish for lack of knowledge. But they are in the struggle still. Some rich and some poor still. All the money with them have that can't buy salvation.
Can't buy salvation,
but they
man.
are in the struggle. Out on the battlefield. Oh, yeah, no. Man fed up with oppression. Man stand up for me, I'm know. Man I call for the army now. Gotta detach from the system. Self-sufficient man fast. So I've got to take myself away.
Tell a friend, family. Y'all already know, man.
I've got to take myself
That's our time.
Prepare for them food shortage.
Yes.
Ask about them seed bank storage.
Balance, family.
Social media.
Have to build a whole firm, man.
With them demonic
Love y'all,
forces.
family. Y'all already know how this thing go, man. Link up on Wednesday, family. Tell a friend, man. Hey, people are destroyed for lacking knowledge, man. Not lack it no more, family. And listen.